Hi, big kids. I'm in the middle of my yearly personal meditation retreat, and I have explored so many wonderful things in so many wonderful different postures and ways of meditating this retreat the last week to 10 days. I often get the question asked, like, hey, Anita, when's the best time to meditate? And what should I be doing when I'm meditating, right? The formula is yours to figure out. This is why I actually created a meditation, a blueprint, so you can start thinking of it more as what is my blueprint, literally my meditation blueprint. Where will I get more traction? Where am I interested? What's going on in my daily life? What's going on in terms of skills that I could develop more of, or practices I'm curious more about that could unpack my own history of imprinted, whatever you call it, trauma or personal sankharas or samsaras, right? So really, I say to that two things, what, when and how are the great questions of meditation. When should I meditate, and how or what should I be practicing? So one of them is, let's just tackle the when, and then we'll tackle the how. So the when is whenever you need it, and whenever you don't need it. So whenever you can, and whenever you can in many different situations. Whether you've just gone through a surgery and you're still healing and you can't sit up straight or in your regular posture, you're lying down. Or when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're dealing with don't know mind, and it's either on the work ahead tomorrow that you're nervous about, or the existential mystery angst question of, like, are humans innately good or not? Is the world, what do we do with the world on fire? Right? I have a hard time winding down and going to bed. I want to be more present in my conversations with other humans. I can do a background practice there. Wherever you're at, while you're moving and in your body, and you're wanting to connect to this beautiful machine and tool, and listen to the cues that it gives you, while you're on a long commute, while you're anywhere. So the answer to the first question is, well, you can meditate anywhere. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And so once you start, like, blowing the mind there, and when I say that, blowing the mind there, I mean, once you start retraining the default network mode to think that you are only legitimately meditating in certain spaces or in certain depths, there's a lot of this weirdness in the meditative realm out there. Teachers and people like, oh, I don't know, that's not serious practice or whatever. That's all bullshit. Just ignore all that. It's kind of ridiculous. If you're getting traction in any way, shape, or form, and you're building your 3 skills, attentional skills, I love that from Shinzen Young Unified Mindfulness, then you practice everywhere. Because if you don't practice everywhere, you're not going to be able to practice anywhere but the cushion. And that took a long time to tease out and to pull out, that didn't need to take a long time. So learn from my path and journey. There you go. Right? And then it also makes your life so much more interesting, and you're building those skills on the fly in the midst of the daily chaos of life. It's like you're cross-training. Beautiful. The what to practice. Let's go to the what to practice. What do I practice in? I don't know what to do. What do I do? This is why people are beholden upon apps and everything, politics, religions, all these systems. We're beholden on systems because we don't have a self-efficacy as a human species. We've lost our self-efficacy as a human species. Literally, our capacity to heal ourselves. We go to doctors, we go to experts outside ourselves. When we think of spirituality, it's all outside ourselves. When we think of so many things. Politics is all that. Representative will fix that for me. It's always outside ourselves, right? Like we've expanded the level of efficacy from self to other. And efficacy just means the capacity to know that I have the skills as a human to figure this shit out, or to learn something new, or to explore, or to have my own depth wisdom, right? So we've farmed out our efficacy as a human species, so it's no wonder why we're like, oh, I'll pick up an app and the app will teach me this, or that teacher will teach me this. And there's a part of this practice that you will learn from other teachers, different kinds of gurus and teachers. There are many levels and layers of gurus or teachers. A guru is just somebody who is, or a Buddha is just somebody who's learned something and they're willing to share it with you. Like, oh, here's another facet of this jewel that you're learning to see for yourself. Maybe your jewel is a ruby, and it's certain colors and shades, and maybe your jewel that you're honing down is a pearl, right? So it's for everybody. This is a meditation blueprint for everybody. Your Dharma jewel. This was like, you have this thing in your hand, your jewel, and it may be rusty and old and looks like a piece of crap because you haven't you just pulled it out of the rock, but you haven't honed it down to the bare jewel to see the light shine off it, right? Because that's you don't have any efficacy yet. So you can learn some from apps and some from teachers and some from other things, but at the end of the day, here's the message. Here it is. You're learning to meet yourself wherever you're at with this practice. So one is you got to pull your attention back on you. We let our attention, which is our greatest commodity, just be bled out all over, just like outside other. We give it away like this precious gift. We give it away. So first of all, you have to go, okay, I'm going to turn the locus of attention back on me. I'm going to pull it back from outer worry, outer work, outer things, gotta fix them, gotta do that, shoulda, dominating back to me. And you're like, okay, well, that sounds great, Anita, but how the hell do you do that? You stop on a dime, no matter where you're at, any time of the day. I just told you meditate any time of the day. And you go, oh, I take a breath, and I get inside my body. Inside what's been going on in my mental chatter, what's been going on in the somatic, emotional, physical range of me today. Oh, there's a lot of don't know mind. Oh, there's a lot of this going on. Oh, I'm here. Oh, what do I want to work on? Oh, what am I curious about? Oh, what would help me? Oh, me. Right? We're learning it is like a self-diagnosing, self-calibrating tool that we're learning. And I know it's hard when we've been sucking off the pacifier so much from outside wisdom, outside knowledge, to come back in and go, oh, wait a minute, like on any given moment, what am I going to do in this retreat? Well, what's been coming up? You look at the big picture, you look at your life circumstances, you go, oh, this is what I may want to explore, but also you leave it open and spontaneous for whatever arises. And so this is why I say you can have a big plan for your practice, and you can have a daily plan for your practice, or you can have a weekly plan for your practice. And that helps get the wheels turning. And then eventually you just, on the fly, I'm in don't know mind. Oh, I'm lost in this indecision, confusion, muddled out. It's really ramped up in the system. I'm going to be with that. Or, I have noticed I haven't really been exploring. I've been really in the negativity bias land a lot, so maybe I want to explore pleasure, not as a just whimsical thing that I'm going to get lost in, but maybe I want to explore pleasure as a focal tool, as a focus tool of meditative practice to maybe like pull me out of that negativity bias. Or maybe I want to, whatever it is you want to focus on. Maybe it's like, oh, I'm going to go visit my family That's so funny though. I can't remember who said that. I think it was Ram Dass. Like, think you're enlightened, go visit your family for a week. I'm gonna go visit my family for the holidays. Oh, okay. What do I want to explore there? Maybe I want to do a little bit of a imaginal reparenting, meditative, self-love, metta, loving kindness practice, and then maybe a lot of like really good like foreground, background conversational practice while I'm there to notice, so I don't self-abandon. So again, I don't put my locus of power out there in that situation, so that I'm there and present, fully present for that whole experience with my family. So this is two things with practice. It is 24/7 there for you as a tool and gift, and how you play with it. If you're skillful, and have upaya skillful means is what's alive now. What's alive now. And yeah, that's what I got to say about that. So if you're starting out rudimentary, look at your day and where you're at, and what tools you have in the toolbox. What maybe you've learned a little bit of shamatha, or maybe you learned a little bit of vipassana, maybe you learned a little bit of this, and maybe you're curious about a little bit of this, and what you may want to explore more that you don't know, and what you do know that you want to explore deeper, or what your life circumstances are, and then actually think about it. You don't even have to sit down and write it out if you're not a write it out person. Just think, oh, what's going on in this next week? Work-wise, family-wise, personal life-wise. What are going to be, is there going to be a lot of triggers or daily life, like challenge responses coming up that I'll have to respond to, potential challenges. Do I want to do more bookends? Do I want what? And then play. And then the last thing I'll say is don't judge yourself, because you're going to be doing this until the day you die. And the way that we have the one worst byproduct of this, like outsourcing our attention to everybody else, outsourcing our happiness, is that we have lost the connection to the feeling of being contented by, deeply satisfied by this skill of efficacy. So as you start to taste it, you're going to start to fill up your own cup, and you're going to start to know this cycle of me, fill my own cup up. And so when we outsource this, everything, our attention always bleeding out because we want to be part of the tribe, or we don't want to be left behind, or we're existential, or whatever the hell the reason is, 24/7 we're outsourcing, letting our attention, our locus of attention, get further and further out. We are literally that's a literal training. And there's no mistake about that. Is a literal training to deprive you of your efficacy, your self-efficacy, your deeper wisdom, knowing, self-confidence. You could call it many different ways. And in so many different ways, society has told you not to do that. Don't be too prideful. Don't think you got this shit figured out. I was looking up a word last year. It was like one of the words from a book I was reading about pleasure or something. It was a really benign word, but and one of the definitions of the word, it was so sneaky in there. Like, don't think you got this figured out. Don't think you got this figured out. You can't figure this out on your own, right? You need to farm that out to somebody else. Farm out that efficacy. So start to notice when you have doubt, indecision, confusion, muddle, that's part of the process. That's part of you reclaiming that locus of power back, or that locus of attention back, and going, no, I actually have the capacity for that. It might be buried, the jewel might be covered in dirt, or the pearl might be stuck in a shell, or but only you have the capacity to uncover that beautiful Dharma jewel. And once you realize that, and you start cleaning off one lens, you start getting like deep in practice in one space, enough traction where there's this figure ground reversal, this positive feedback loop, and then it's like you go to the gym, and about 3 months later, you're like, I can see the muscles. Yeah. Right? You're like, I can feel the difference. That same thing here. You experience that, and then you realize, oh, I'm sitting on it, and it just like starts to bleed out everywhere else, and the traction and the exponential growth starts happening, the skillful exponential growth and process of this practice starts to occur. So just a little, I don't know, for whatever it's worth, kiddos, today. Hope you have a wonderful day, whenever you are. Feel free to post a comment, question below, whatever, and see you later.